Good, happy Thursday morning, February 28th, 2019. The last day of February. Tomorrow is March 1st. Welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this morning, so let's begin. First up, police looking for Franklin hit and run suspect. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The all-new BMW X5. Confidence doesn't take detours.
Now, Franklin police are looking for a car involved in a hit and run tonight. Police say a dark-colored Mazda sedan hit a pedestrian on Central Street around 6 o'clock. Investigators say the vehicle likely has a missing passenger side mirror and significant damage to the bumper and fender. State police have just identified the victim as Edward Douglas Jr. of Franklin. He was taken to the hospital with serious injury.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. German excuse make court deal over Columbia gun experts. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Monica Hernandez.
And a plea deal has reportedly been reached in the German arms trafficking trial of Sig Sauer. According to a court official, current New Hampshire CEO Ron Cohen will receive a suspended sentence and pay a $1 million fine. Two former executives of the German parent company will receive lighter sentences. The trial focused on the shipment of thousands of semi-automatic pistols from Germany to New Hampshire. Prosecutors say most ended up in Colombia, violating the company's export license.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. One person transported to hospital after Hudson townhouse fire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
And in Hudson, one person was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation after a fire at a townhouse. It happened at a unit on Fox Hollow Drive this afternoon. A crew say smoke was coming from the attic when they arrived. Firefighters quickly got the fire under control, but no word tonight on a cause.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Law enforcement struggle to track homeless people on sex offender registry. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cherry.
For the last 2 years, officers Eric Desmarais and Warren Tanner have headed Manchester's sex offender registration unit.
Currently, Manchester has 526 registered sex offenders, and that can vary from day to day.
Each offender goes through multiple compliance checks per year.
So this is the sex offender registration booth.
MPD conducted more than 2,400 check-ins in 2018.
We have a glass partition here so that people can enter from the public side of the police department.
But many are coming right off the street. After a quick look on its website, WMUR found that the New Hampshire Department of Safety lists 70 offenders as homeless.
This is a database that we keep. It's a basic Excel spreadsheet.
Police say there are more offenders without permanent addresses who aren't even listed on the publicly available website because the extent of their crime is not severe enough.
I'd say the highest concentration is in the downtown area, but I've had a gentleman who came in to register and stated that he lives in the woods out by Lake Massabesic.
Under state law, there are no restrictions on where sex offenders can live. Near schools, daycares, public parks, under bridges, or on the street are all possibilities. 45 of the homeless offenders on the statewide public registry were convicted of felonious sexual assault on juveniles.
I think the desire to register and track sex offenders comes from fear.
Attorney Robin Malone has been involved in cases where laws have tried to restrict where offenders can live. She says heavy regulations make the pool of available housing so small that it can drive offenders underground, making them more difficult to track.
I think when we extend that punishment into the community in a way that makes it difficult for them to reintegrate into society, it makes it more difficult, makes it less safe, makes it more likely they will reoffend.
But even now, not everyone follows the rules. There are currently more than 70 offenders who are listed as non-compliant on the state registry.
When someone fails to register and a warrant's issued for failure to register as a sex offender, chasing them can be a little bit time-consuming.
In Laconia, there's one officer assigned to more than 70 cases.
Certainly, if we had more time or availability, we would go out and do those spot checks and just surprise visits or phone calls and verify the addresses in between the sex offender registrations.
And officers say once warrants are issued for an arrest, it becomes more dangerous.
Sometimes you have scenarios where an offender's living with friends or family that don't even know that they're offenders, and so they try to keep that quiet as well. So it can get touchy at times.
If there's someone that's supposed to be registering, that will catch up to them.
Malone says law enforcement and victim advocates are on the same page when it comes to New Hampshire's living restrictions, and it's been proven in the State House. The last time a regulation bill was proposed, legislators voted against it. For News 9 Investigates, Mike Cherry, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two Portsmouth chief chefs semi-finalists for prestigious James Breed Award. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Mango habanero salsa.
Portsmouth's Vita Cantina, owned by chef David Vargas, offers modern Mexican cuisine with a New England twist.
We're super blessed in this area to have such a tight-knit community that supports us.
This is the first time Vargas is being recognized by the James Beard Foundation as a semi-finalist for Best Chef in the Northeast.
If you think about it, in the Northeast, there's so many restaurants, so many phenomenal chefs, so many more deserving chefs than myself, and yeah, it's incredible.
Evan Mallett, chef and owner of Black Trumpet, is now a 5-time semifinalist.
Every time it happens, I'm stupefied. I just know how much talent there is out there.
While they're up for the same honor, they're very much rooting for one another.
He came into this community with a great perspective.
To be on the list with him, I called him up right away and I said, thank you for everything that you've done for me.
Both chefs have a passion for community, whether it's the ingredients they cook with, the people they feed, or those who have helped them along the way.
I have a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful kids that have been supporting me through this whole career, and so I owe everything to them.
It's not about us, it's about this giant group of people who make what we do possible.
In Portsmouth, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We wish both of them the very best. Animal control officer removes 21 animals. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Monica Hernandez.
Well, more than 20 animals have been removed from a home in Hudson. Hudson police say the animals were seized after serving a search warrant at 6 Cole Street. 21 animals, including 1 alpaca, 8 chickens, 9 goats, and 3 ducks, are now in the care of the New Hampshire SPCA in Stratham. As of tonight, no charges have been filed.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. European markets lower as Trump-Kim summit ends abruptly. European stocks were mostly lower on Thursday as investors keep abreast of geopolitical news taking place across the globe. And let's take a look at the European market. And as you can see, all three are in the red right now. U.S.-North Korea summit with Trump and Kim cut short in Vietnam. Negotiations were wrapped up early and no agreement was reached. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
And North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un are wrapping up their historic summit. Let's listen to the president as he talks to international press.
Vietnam, the job they've done, economic development, really something special. So I want to thank all of the people of Vietnam for having treated us so well. We have, I think, reasonably attractive news from Pakistan and India. They've been going at it, and we've been involved in trying to have them stop. And we have some reasonably decent news. I think hopefully that's going to be coming to an end. It's been going on for a long time, decades and decades. There's a lot of dislike, unfortunately. So we've been in the middle trying to help them both out, see if we can get some...
Okay, and that is video from Donald Trump's speech that he delivered in Vietnam. If you want to watch the full speech, we will share a link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page. And again, President Donald Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un met for their second summit in Vietnam as the U.S. pushed the younger leader to abandon his nuclear arms in exchange for economic relief and assurance of his sanctions. And we know that it ended abruptly too late last night. We will keep you updated on this and get more information when it comes into our newsroom. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.